you guys ever tried to go into international courts? Have you brought this to the UN? Other, human rights organizations that have a, international jurisdiction, or at least try to. Just wondering if you guys are doing anything like that.
Well, first, within Colombia, we certainly tried our best to have any type of recourse. Yeah. As we mentioned, we were fighting an uphill battle where sometimes it was the same individuals in the company as they were also behind the judges panel. In recent litigation, other than the case we have on the ACCA in 11th Circuit District Court, we have tried to bring it to the Inter-American Court, the Inter-American Court of Justice as well, in San Jose, Costa Rica, and in Washington, D.C., and tried to, there's a movement building in Colombia trying to bring those that have been involved with these war crimes, that we consider them, to The Hague as well. And certainly, the stronger that the campaign is, the more legitimacy that we have, many times through more mainstream press, through mainstream opinions as well, they might be able to, in fact, get us an open door to seek other avenues of at least more formal legal justice.
I know you guys have like No Mas FARC, like the No Mas FARC movement has been getting like a lot of steam. And do you feel like that would be a good cross coalition between the two of you guys? Because especially, with like like the workers and stuff, I was just wondering.
One of the difficulties, particularly organizing around Colombia in the U.S. and especially in New York, is that there is such a polarizing effect of the situation in Colombia, where people see it as two sides. You're either with the FARC or you're against. You're either against the paramilitaries or you're for them. You're either for Uribe or you're against, which sets us up in that same dynamic that we heard very much, particularly in New York after 9/11. Right? You're either with us or you're with the terrorists. In many cases, we being grouped into the terrorists because we speak out and share our story. So we don't have any official affiliations with the No Mas FARC, nor do we with the FARC. We very much believe in a pacific fight for social justice, and then we know that violence only begets violence. And so we certainly believe in those principles, and no matter how difficult the climate may be, whether it be locally here in New York or certainly in Colombia, that helps us to be our political and moral compass.
No sé si voy a repetir lo mismo que dijo Camilo, pero la coalición No Mas FARC, yo digo, también tenemos que decir no más paramilitares, tenemos que decir no más Uribe, porque si sabemos, porque no sé cuántos lo sepan, yo soy de la tierra de Uribe y soy testigo de que él fue el que inició los grupos paramilitares en Antioquia, cuando era gobernador de Antioquia, a través de las cooperativas Convivir, que luego se convirtieron en paramilitares. Muchos fueron jefes paramilitares como el tal Esteban, donde hay videos de Uribe dándole la mano a él en el Magdalena Medio, diciéndole que sí estaba trabajando con la policía y en el ejército, y con el ejército, y él le dijo, sí señor. Entonces hay que decir también, no más Uribe, no más paramilitares y no más FARC.
So I may repeat, due to my limited English, I may repeat something what Camilo may have said, but if we're going to say no más FARC, well, why don't we also say no más paramilitares, no más Uribe? People applauded then in Spanish. Especially where some of you may not know this, I'm from the same lands as our current president, Uribe. And I'm very aware that as a local mayor and eventually as governor of that department of Antioquia, he was one of the founders of those cooperatives of paramilitaries that evolved into what was called Convivir, which are today's paramilitaries. And because of that, we're very confident that this violence is because of that collusion, because of that history. And it's something that we need to have very clear, no matter which side of the argument we may rest on.
Lo último que quería decirles es que a nombre de todos los sindicatos de Colombia, por el apoyo que han recibido y la solidaridad por nuestra crisis en Colombia y especialmente por SINALTRAINAL, que yo sé que allá van a estar muy agradecidos de todo lo que ustedes están haciendo en este país por nuestra lucha, por el apoyo que nos han brindado en esta lucha. Quiero darles las gracias de todo corazón.
I one final note I'd like to share before we all have refreshment is that in my name, in the name of our union, SINALTRAINAL, we would like to thank you very heartfelt. Your support, your collaborations, we know is a key to not only us maintaining our campaign, but us maintaining our livelihoods. So we appreciate it very much, and we thank you for your support. And typically at the end of our meetings, sometimes in the end of our larger forums, we have what's called a solidarity clap that we've integrated somewhat of the farm worker movement in the western states, as well as what some of us have met with the workers in the Philippines. So if you guys want to, if you guys are willing to clap with us, you can join us in the solidarity clap, which, to explain some of the background, some of you in the back knows it. Some of you have heard about the farm worker movement, certainly with Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, where many of those workers either spoke Spanish or English or Tagalog, many of them Mexican, Guatemalan, and Filipino, weren't able to communicate with each other. They many times use sign language or oftentimes clapped. And as you know, with any clap, like the one you gave us earlier, it's somewhat disconnected, disjointed, there's no unison. With this idea of a unity clap is that it may begin a little bit off harmony, but it builds crescendo and it builds power, much like our movement. And at the very end, once we reach that high point, all of us clapping very quickly and very loudly, we incorporate the Filipino tradition called Isang Bagsak, where at the very end, near that climax, then we all open our hands, making weird faces, and we clap one big one at the end to unify that. So don't be shy, we'll start it off, we'll see how you like it. Ready?